voices in our heads now have a frequency. America's first competition talk show. You're in the hub.
House Representative Dennis Kucinich, Democrat from Ohio, recently leveled a lawsuit because of something that happened to him in the House cafeteria 3 years ago. The man ordered a vegetarian sandwich, right? And he bit into this thing, and it had olives in it. He ordered it with olives. And lo and behold, the cafeteria staff apparently didn't remove the pit from one of the olives. And so he chipped a tooth or something, and hundreds of thousands of dollars in dental care and everything later. This drug-out process went on forever. Kucinich is now angry, and he's suing, I don't know who. I guess he's suing the two contract groups that the cafeteria contracts to produce the food. But doesn't the House, Dave, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't the House pay for its cafeteria out of its own budget? So this is like being the defendant and the plaintiff at the same time.
Isn't that funny?
Yes, ironic, isn't it?
And that's just another $150,000 plus legal fees that they're pissing down the toilet. Yeah, look, he's suing himself. He's suing the taxpayers yet again, screwing the taxpayers yet again.
But isn't this the worst PR move in the world, Greg? I mean, at a time when they're spending money like water and
it's a bad PR move, but I mean, the guy's basically an avowed socialist, and he keeps getting reelected, so he really doesn't care what everybody else thinks. He must. I don't know what district. Is he in Cleveland or something? I mean,
he's in Ohio. Yeah, he's in Ohio, well, I mean, but I don't know where exactly.
Is it Cleveland?
Cleveland area.
I mean,
okay.
You know, they lost LeBron, and now they're probably a little bitter
jaded
about that.
Yeah, they're jaded. So basically, the
no,
Georgia.
We're sending a socialist back to D.C.
The South should rise again. We really should go up there and whoop some ass. But I mean, here's the thing. They say the lawsuit that that he filed, it was earlier this year, January 3rd. It came after the incident, which happened April 17th, 2008.
Wow.
Why do you wait around for 3 years? It's not like this is really a move sitting in your back pocket going, oh, my God, when things get really hot up here at on Capitol Hill, I'll pull out my ace in the hole. I got my tooth chipped by an olive pit.
All I know is I'm in the wrong industry. I need to be an attorney. I can't even imagine the attorney's fees on that. You know, once again, I'm
another
sure
case for tort reform.
Yeah, the irony is all over the place on this one, guys. Because, I mean, first of all, one of his aides says it's truly a private matter. Well, then why put it on the public docket? And then, if he's also suing a place called Food Buy Limited Liability Company.
Okay.
LLC. I don't get it.
It's it doesn't all pass the smell test. I mean, honestly, though, when these types of frivolous lawsuits happen from an elected representative of the people, does it really pass mustard that this stuff is just off the table? This is a private matter. No, you made it a public matter. You are wasting taxpayer dollars.
It's a terrible role model. If we encourage people to bring frivolous lawsuits. Obamacare is already. Hopefully, it's on its death knell with the ruling yesterday. But it had no mention of tort reform in it, and this I don't even know if Obamacare had a dental plan. But
we know Kucinich didn't vote for the tort reform.
Exactly.
We know why.
He's like, well, I got this thing's going to be passing, and there's not going to be tort reform.
Well, they say that they contend the congressman is entitled to damages for future dental and medical expenses, and to compensate him for pain, suffering, and loss of employment.
What kind of tooth?
Wow.
Was it an incisor or a front?
I don't know.
Is he walking around like a buck tooth man,
What is the
In Ohio, that might be a liability to your campaign reelection bid.
I think a crown averages like $2,000 now.
Yeah.
2,000 USD.
Yeah, how much can this thing cost?
No, okay, guys, you got to read the fine print here. For pain and suffering and loss of enjoyment.
We should sue him for having to listen to him talk.
Who can we sue? Can we sue Congress for pain and suffering and lack of enjoyment?
You heard this guy talk? I mean, Jesus.
I haven't enjoyed Congress since I was born. I should sue them myself.
Should also C-SPAN class action.
You're right. I mean, this is nuts though. They say in the lawsuit the said sandwich, to read the language, the said sandwich was unwholesome and unfit for human consumption, in that it was presented to contain pitted olives, yet unknown to plaintiff contained an unpitted olive or olives. Could have been more than one, which the plaintiff did not reasonably expect to be in the food prepared for him. Why should he? He had a pitless olive sandwich. Could not visually detect prior to consumption. What happened to chew your food carefully and don't eat so fast? I mean, if Kucinich had listened to Mama, this would have never happened.
Absolutely.
Maybe she never told him about it. Maybe
about,
he could sue her for negligence.
Talk about abdicating personal responsibility, right? I mean, you're suing three I believe it's three contractors that the house contracts with. You're suing the supplier of the food and the preparer of
Somebody
the food.
dropped the ball.
Somebody dropped the ball.
Dropped the pit.
But come on now. I mean, chew your food. Spit out the dang pits.
Well, and apparently on the day of the incident, he's chaired a hearing about the abuse that was in California slaughterhouses. Now, just look at the oxymoronic statement there: abuse in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, it's like we're concerned about the cows here. You know, they're to me it's just egregious. Just one more example of what we see all the time. And
They weren't slaughtered humanely, is all.
this could be true. Now I don't know if you toured the slaughterhouse. I don't know if you just got a briefing on this, or I mean,
Maybe
if this
congressional, maybe this burger had a pit in it too. I don't know.
It's like, I mean, if the all I know is if his congressional staff is doing research on this sort of thing, I want to sue them for wasting my tax dollars.
Oh,
It's really pathetic. But you know, I mean, this ultimately, I mean, I don't see it as a private matter. I think it's one more example, laughable example of just how bad it's gotten up there.
You're a
Dave?
representative suing suppliers of food that's served to House members. It's not a private matter.
It's a public
No,
servant
I'm sorry.
and a public, supposedly it's our employee. Actually, I didn't hire him. People in Cleveland hired him, unfortunately. Again, but it could not be more public.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
exactly. In the public
It's on the
cafeteria.
docket board.
I'm telling you, it can only go from bad to worse. All right, we'll see you tomorrow on the Hub.
The love is gone.